Hi, Cheyenne.
Hello.
Nice to see you. You look beautiful today.
Thank you. Wonderful to see you.
So what do we have? What do we have on the menu for today?
Well, today is a little different. I'd like to just talk about the equinox and take us through a brief but meaningful equinox ritual.
Hmm.
The word ritual means right you all. And so the way the rituals we have and the more consistency, like the sun comes up and the sun goes down, but having daily rituals is really comforting and really grounding in a crazy world. And a lot of people in the world acknowledge the equinoxes and the solstices. We know summer solstice is in June 20th or 21st. Winter solstice is 20th of December, 21st. And the equinoxes are in the spring, March 23rd, usually. It's the starting of Aries. And then when the sun goes into Libra in the fall, that's the equinox. Equinox means equal night, but what it represents is equal night and equal days, 12 hours of night and 12 hours of day. In the winter, we begin to expand. In the winter, it's so contracted, but when winter solstice comes, from that day on, it becomes brighter and brighter and brighter, and the more light every day until summer solstice. And a lot of people, especially the fire lovers, really grieve and cry because even though it's summer, the first day of summer, it begins already to contract and contract and contract until winter.
Hmm.
So the spring equinox is all about planting and shooting the seed and putting yourself out there. The fall equinox is about harvesting. And so a lot of people, gardeners understand this, but not most of the world is not gardeners. We go to the grocery store. But when you harvest, you have all this fruit and you take it off a tree, and there might be some peaches, but it's imperfect. There might be a bug ate here and this landed here and there's a bruise. So you have to pull out what doesn't work. You have to let go of things to harvest. If you're taking a new life and you're moving, you have to let go of things that might be too much weight or that don't serve you anymore.
Hmm.
And so when we take these cues from nature and mimic nature, and tune into nature, it helps us ground. And so little ceremonies to check in with ourselves, I think is a good thing on the holiday like that. So what I like to do is take an inventory, and I usually like to say what I'm letting go of and what I'm bringing in. And I've gotten more simple now. A lot of years I'm writing so many things down. Whatever I want to let go of, I tend to burn. I'll burn it somewhere safe. If you're in an apartment, you might have to go outside to the street and the pavement to light that on fire, and so you don't trigger your alarm system. But it's even thinking about what to let go of is a good idea. The whole idea is balance, and it's not always about letting go of something. We might ask ourselves, what would bring us more balance? Maybe I need more sleep or more rest, or maybe I just feel lonely and it would be more friendship. And so these are the ways we look at it to bring balance, not to correct ourselves or to say that there's something wrong. It's more like try to find something balanced. And if there's some weight in there that doesn't serve us anymore, or it could be a perfect part of harvesting, could be giving it away. I might have 500 peaches. I can't eat them all. So part of is, even though it's abundant, even though it's perfectly good, or even though Aunt Sally gave this to me or whatever, and I haven't used it in 5 years, or if I don't process it, it's going to go to waste, then that's also things to let go of. That's all the trees are about to let go of their leaves, and this is the season of grief. And so when we're able to let go of things, it's great. The spring would be like the season of wood, which is the liver and gallbladder, and the sap starts coming up from the roots, because some people are experiencing this equinox in the southern hemisphere. And so the roots and the sap are coming up through the trees, and things are getting explosive, and we're thinking about what to do. Those of us here in North America are getting ready for the winter, and we're pulling in, and even if we've had a difficult summer, and I think a lot of people have had, this summer turned out to be an internal working summer. It might not seem like we got a lot done, but at the end of the summer, we're thinking, wow, we've really accomplished a lot within our own being.
Yeah. And in my neighborhood, there's been a lot of fires and homes lost. And so it's a whole new letting go of everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right in Peaceful Valley, or like?
No, Medical Lake
Oh,
and up by Elk.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Well,
didn't.
no, it's fine. I'm glad to know that. Yeah, that's sad. And of course that happens in every season, but these types of losses, but then we're more present to them.
Mhm.
It's kind of a melancholy time, the weather gets colder. And so our blood will move slower in the winter than it moves in the spring. In the spring, things move faster. When we're cold, a healthy man, his blood moves like a 25-year-old man, 25 miles an hour. But if you're cold, or the blood can move slower, and then you don't do as much. And so we're at a point now from reducing our stimuli. In the West, people never stop. They have Christmas and they have holidays and they have everything so expansive. But I really recommend having for Christmas or having Thanksgiving, having it pretty mellow and having it get together, but not having it so pressed, full court pressure on the hostess of the house. That's not what we're meant to do. Between now and solstice, well, actually between the 23rd of September and the winter solstice, it's going to get darker and darker and darker, and we should be getting slower, and we should be slowing down.
Right.
And it'll go easier on us. Otherwise, when the spring comes, we haven't properly regenerated ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that requires stillness. And as you say, Candace, free, unshaped time. Mm-hmm. And that's missing for people. And it's missing for children too. They don't have the free, unshaped time they need to just.
Yeah. Shapeless time.
Yes. Yeah. Shapeless time.
Yeah.
And so, you can let go, when we do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to light a candle and say a prayer. And what we do is you write down something you want to let go of, and something you want to bring in. And there's a variety. Some people are in a place they want to purge so many things. Letting go doesn't mean you have to let go of your old sweaters. It could be anything. I'm letting go of my grievances. I'm letting go of being angry. I'm letting go of anxiety. I don't know how to let go of my anxiety. Well, you don't have to know. But when you write it down and you put it in ritual, and you celebrate it, and you kind of delegate it to God in a way, then things can happen. We can let go of I'm letting go. What I'm writing down is I'm letting go of judgment, judging others, and I'm bringing in love and compassion. In my system of muscle testing, judgment and sympathy are on the same thing, earth. You think judgment and sympathy aren't the same thing, but when you sympathize with someone, it's feeling sorry for them, and you're saying that they don't have the power to magnetize things perfectly in their life. Their life looks so bad that you need to help, or you need to judge that they need help, or that they need something.
Or they choose.
Yes. And so I'm going to write down, I'm letting go of judgment. And I've never written that one down. That would have been way too scary for me in the past. And what I'm going to want to bring in is love and compassion. And love is like our universal language. Each one of us has our own specific way and gift of love. That's the only thing I think that differentiates us, is that each one of us has a heart flame with a special purpose of love. And so having a purpose-driven life, and I think when you acknowledge nature, and I do this more every day when I'm walking, but especially if you take inventory at least 4 times a year, you can find another aspect of purpose. What if you don't know your purpose? Then, and you want to, you can write down, I would let go of being scattered, or and I'm bringing in my purpose, or something else, or sometimes it doesn't have to be a complaint about oneself. I'm letting go of exhaustion, and I'm bringing in self-respect, and I'm letting go of the bad food I'm eating. One of the greatest self-respects you can do is to just make a meal. And I'm making a meal for myself when I go to lunch, go to work 3 days out of the 5, could be
Right.
that simple. Whatever empowers you. What about you for the season? Do you have an idea of what you would like?
Yeah. What I've identified that I want to let go of is a distrust of my future. And I haven't had that before. And I'm thinking, Cheyenne, I've thought about this a lot. You and I have talked years ago for forever, that you and I will just be out there on the streets helping people, until
Yeah.
we fall over and stuff. And
Yeah.
so getting having MECFS become to a point where I'm not functioning the way that I was. It's changed my work. I don't know that it's changed my purpose. But so
Mhm.
what I'm noticing, because there's a lot of ego in that, excuse me. Uh, there's a lot of ego in the distrust about my future. It's like a control thing.
Mhm.
And what I'm bringing in is the concept, and I work a lot with beliefs. Boy, you can go from this to that, just like that, when you get the belief right. And
Yes.
so what I'm bringing in is I'm one of many. So I'm not isolated in this situation that's got me stuck in a net or something. My vibration is one of many. And so we're all flowing and moving, and it's all happening. And so I probably, if I go a little deeper with that, it would be control. So giving up control and
Yeah.
being, I'm one little minnow in the ocean of, yeah.
So can you say that in a sentence? I'm letting go of blank and I'm bringing in blank, and see what you
I
say.
guess I'm letting go of control,
Okay.
and um the word could be humble, but I think I like the one of many. I'm not
Mhm.
different. I'm not better. I'm not worse. I'm not this or that. I just am. I'm
Mhm.
I'm part of this human experience. And so I I guess, sorry.
This is valuable.
Well, it's what's valuable, I think, is people need to talk, not
Mhm.
get fixed so much. And being a therapist more of my life than not, yeah, it goes deeper. So hang on, I just about lost that. I did lose it. So anyway, I letting go of control and just being one of many.
Oneness.
It's
Yeah.
not it's not about me.
Yeah,
It's
no, that's
it's
beautiful.
about us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that have pain, and so there's different kinds of pain. And so you can write down letting go of certain pain, certain grief, doesn't mean you have to, that you won't ever grieve again, but it just, whatever it is that's really important to you, focusing on that. Um, so I'm letting go of judgment and I'm bringing in love and compassion. So I'd like to just take us in just a real brief meditation and prayer. And I'm going to light a candle because that's what I do. But I'm not going to put it in front of the computer, but you can see I've got a candle here for all of us and everyone in YouTube land. I'm lighting a candle for you. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a few breaths and be present. And we're going to let things of the day, things of the year, just go out with the out breath. And we're going to imagine our grounding cord, which is at the base of our spine, kind of by our tailbone. We're going to imagine that just grounding into the center of the earth. And if there's resentment or revenge or retaliation or anger or grief, or you're really worried about something, or money worries or difficulties at work, difficulties with your car, or a concern about a relative, or how to solve a problem, and we're just going to take a few breaths and let those things go. Anger and all those kinds of heavy emotions don't harm the earth because everything comes from her. So when we give it back to her, it's just raw energy. Any interference in our field, anything that's kind of ratcheting the works of the machine, we ask to just, if there's any blocks in our system, whether we feel them or know them or not, we just ask they be removed, and just continue to take breaths. And we give gratitude for, so far this year is 75% over. So we give gratitude for what has been done and what we've done, and we forgive what we did or what we didn't do, because we're not perfect. We're doing our best. So we're looking for that balance. And so we just find a neutral place. And Candace has taught for years there's a neutral place in between the head, kind of up by the pineal gland in the center of the head. And it's a place that doesn't judge and can observe everything without judging, even painful things. And we can kind of go into our heart and feel just that open space and neutrality. We're halfway in the light and the dark, and everything's illuminated in an even way. And so we just allow whatever wants to balance, make its way to our front consciousness. And we just take a few more breaths and think about, I'm thinking about what I want to bring in. I'm thinking about that love and compassion and letting go of that judgment that can hold me back and separate me from people. So I give gratitude for this gathering and for the hearts of humankind coming together. I give gratitude for nature. I give gratitude for guidance. I give gratitude for the heart flames of humankind and how powerful we are together. And we ask for a blessing upon all of these prayers and all of these divine aspirations that come from the heart of the people. May all be blessed, including elemental life and Gaia, Mother Earth herself. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's that simple. And what's left for me is to burn the paper. And if it's not good to burn the paper where you're at, just tear it up and throw it away. It's okay. You might want to write it down, the word you're bringing in, so that at solstice you can see how that's going.
Right.
Also, if I'm letting go of judgment, I also mean self-judgment too. I just want to put that out there.
Right. Well, that's where it starts.
Yes.
As soon as we judge someone, we need to immediately look at can I share a little bit about that?
Please.
One of the things people who know me and have known me for a long time know, that I'm like, let's do it. Let's get it done. Highly scheduled, highly organized, highly impatient and going to move fast and get things done. everything that I have ever judged, not well, probably everything at some point that I've judged people about, I'm now, with my MECFS, I move slowly. I don't organize well. My website,
Mm.
I just say, please pay me, and then I'll, because I can't, my brain, I used to judge, I'll say his name because I love him dearly. Davis, Tom Davis, a poet here in
I
Peaceful,
know Tom.
excuse me, and rest in peace. But
Yeah.
he had ADHD,
Mhm.
and so there was a whiteboard in their house, and his wife would write things down in that. And for me, it's like, why don't you just pick up after yourself? Or why don't you just remember to do that? Or, make a note, or, now I'm totally that way, and I'll find some open dog food in the kitchen. Um, and the bathroom will have, I don't finish things. I don't, so yeah.
Wow.
That does bring up another thing I want to bring in is the bluebird thing. I promise to finish everything I begin. But the point I'm making is over these few years, I've really been able to see things and the judgments, so every time if I were to be judgmental of someone, now I can go, okay, Candace, what is it in me?
Yes.
And so anyway, it's very helpful to
As
do.
South American shaman said about substances, substances that people tend to use recreationally. But he says a substance becomes an addiction the moment you judge it. So people can drink wine or do everything and they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then they make a judgment about it and then they're tied to that substance. The judgment is locking that into their, you see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, sometimes we rightly judge ourselves. We lost 5 jobs and 3 marriages. I'm not saying that it's not correct, but if we judge a politician or we judge our neighbor, then we're tied to that person. If
right,
we're neutral, then we don't have that tie.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the neutrality that you were talking about, it comes from the Church of Divine Man, that concept. And
Hmm.
if people want to email me at ccspokan@gmail.com, I would be happy to send you an audio to take you through this. But the center of your head is above and behind your eyes and between your ears. And just sitting there is just a beautiful way to learn to just be neutral, not good, bad. And that's the thing about the earth and our shift anyway. We're moving out of that duality. And
Yes.
so yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
So,
So that, honey, that's the oneness. Then that is like what you were saying, judgment, compassion. The oneness is not duality. It's like,
right.
yeah, okay.
Well, it's all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That was beautiful. That was really cosmic what you picked out there. So whatever you choose to let go of or bring in, and if it's 5, 10 things, it's okay. If it's a material thing, like you're looking for a car or you're looking for a home, go ahead and write that. But also, what is it that you're looking for from that home? There's a spiritual quality you're looking for. So try to find that. And sometimes we don't know. One of the things that I've always said is there's no such thing as confusion. You either know something or you don't. And
Mhm.
sometimes we don't know anything. We don't know yet. And
Right.
so that idea of neutrality, or just sitting for a moment, or taking a few moments of meditation for yourself, and or taking a few breaths, or imagining if you're flustered, or just everything going down your grounding cord, um, can really lower your blood pressure and make you happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to share today, because it's such a cool time of year.
Okay. Honey, thank you. And I do want to say one of the things I want to let people know is when you're with someone else, Cheyenne and I are in a soul group, and we met a couple days ago. And and I'm sure people know this, but when you're with other people, the ability to reach a higher level and all of that is so much easier. And so, yeah, so thank you for being you and vibrating the
Yeah.
beauty that you are.
Right. And we're all together. I feel connected and love so much for everyone that's hearing my voice. I love you too. I love you.
Yeah. So let me just take a minute. Thanks to everybody who's showing up to listen to Cheyenne Says. And if you want, we're not real good at answering, but sometimes I do on the YouTube videos. But if there's something you want to know about, let us know, because this feeds my heart. I'm sure it feeds yours too. So
And I know this is just algorithmic only, but if you can do the thumbs up, like, I know that helps out Candace's channel. So,
thank you, honey.
okay.
Okay, well, I love you, and so
Happy Equinox.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
so let's do something again soon.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.